First of all, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Rhea Allen with Peppershock Media. We are almost at the 15-year mark for Peppershock. So we started in 2003 and have kind of expanded and grown our business. Most of the time we were in Canyon County, but there was a little stint in Ada County. But I tell people that we work with businesses that are Fortune None to Fortune 1 companies across the globe. So Fortune None, meaning startups, nonprofits, and government entities, or the wannabe Fortune 1 companies. And then on the Fortune 1 side is like Oracle. We get to work with Oracle all over. So, and we help build brands and bottom lines. Just a little bit about us to kind of qualify why I'm presenting to you and why I can speak on this topic. We offer at Peppershock, we can be an extension of a marketing department because we have video production, graphic design, web design, content writing, most of the things that marketing departments need. And sometimes when companies are a marketing department of 1 or 2, then you can have an extension of your marketing department, and that's how we come in. Or we can do per project basis. So we work on graphic design projects, web design, video production. We have a studio in Nampa that we rent out. We do photography, audio, content writing, all kinds of fun stuff. And what we like to do is we tailor our results based on what our clients' needs are, whether that's building a brand or increasing sales or promoting events, those types of things. And the idea behind why we do what we do is we really want to help tell people's stories and in such a way that are captured by what people do. So let's get into our marketing workshop here. So first, in order to be able to look ahead, we want to look back. And some of the things that we trended in 2017 can help be predictions for what will trend in 2018. So let's take a look back real quick. So this is a little video that kind of shares some information that I think might be helpful. And some of you may have seen this before, but let's take a look here. To watch that video, click on the link located in our show notes. So, it is pretty interesting how those stats come out, and every year they update this video, and I just love it. How many of you have seen this video before? No? Okay, good. Hey, good, a new audience. That's awesome. Anyway, so some of the things that, looking back to 2017, test your knowledge. See how many of these hip terms, is it even hip to say hip? I don't know, that you know. So fam, like family, right? Lit, turnt, woke, salty, fire, savage, extra, finesse, goat, like totally goat, totes my goat, totally awesome. Anyway, sus, high, low key. What other words have you heard in 2017? Have you heard of any of these words? Anyone? Yeah? Okay, yeah, yeah. Cool. Yes? Yeah? That's so sick. Wait, that was a couple years ago. Anyway. There you go. Fantastic. So this is kind of fun to look back at what words there are out and what are trending and what hashtags you can use. And looking back at Twitter in 2017, the most retweeted tweet of 2017 was a boy's request for free chicken nuggets. It was quest for free chicken nuggets. So 3.6 million retweets from Wendy's. What an awesome way to get your name out there. And so they responded, you have to have 18 million retweets to get free chicken nuggets, right? And some other popular hashtags this last year was resist, MAGA, make America great again, Black Lives Matter, boycott NFL, and Women's March. Some popular hashtags that were from last year that were trending. Some other interesting things about 2017 is app growth over the past 2 years. So WhatsApp is where you can talk to people, yeah?
Can I interrupt your flow and just get your opinion on what do you think a hashtag is?
Hashtag is...
A lot of people don't know what a hashtag is, and I've heard a lot of people ask me, well,
what is a hashtag? Yeah, no, that's a great question.
Whatever you think it is it... What is it? What's it for? In marketing, what do you think a hashtag is? Just your experience.
Well, hashtags are absolutely getting used a lot on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all the social media spaces. And what they are really is a way to search terms. When people put hashtag, MaxGiving, right? Then every time that anybody uses hashtag MaxGiving, you will be able to find any post that has MaxGiving, with the hashtag on it. So hashtag Peppershock, we use that. And it allows us to search anything that people have hashtagged with those. So from a branding perspective, you can brand your, hashtag your business. Maybe you hashtag and you come up with your own hashtag of what it is that you want to do. Sometimes it's, snide remarks of hashtag, is this really happening? Or, different ways to kind of utilize hashtags as a way to search for, if there's popular trending terminology that's going on, you can search any of the posts that have those popular trends of the words that they're using. So like the Make America Great Again, it was hashtag and it was abbreviated, and people start to begin to understand what it is. If you don't know what a hashtag or what the abbreviation of a hashtag is, click on it and it'll be able to reveal the search of what that is. And so when you click on a hashtag, it brings up other types of posts that continue to have that hashtag in it. Does that help? So from a branding perspective, it's great to be able to hashtag the different things that you're out, if you're doing community or if you're, Idaho for Idaho is a popular hashtag to use for Idaho or Idaho. Or if you are talking about particular topics, so I always do hashtag marketing or hashtag small business or hashtag, corporate giving or hashtag whatever the topic might be, then other people can find us that way. And it's really been a great way to grow Instagram accounts, because then other people across the world can find your hashtags based on what that is. Does that answer your question? Okay, excellent. Yeah, absolutely, Charity. No, yeah, please do.
I think hashtags can also be, going back to what you're saying about branding, is
Yeah.
that it can be used to, whether it's a subliminal message or not, you can connect different brands
Yeah,
together. So,
right.
For example, there's a gal that I know, she does Modern Mom on a Mission, and then she tags it with a few other things.
Right.
So whether it's freedom or whether it is family, and, so you can kind of
Bring them together and connect them. Yeah.
different brands
Disrupt, connect, and inspire. That's what we want to do. Good, good, fantastic. All right. Oh, wait, there's a couple more things on this point. So the WhatsApp, being able to connect with people. Messenger is one of the fastest growing social media platforms that people are connecting with. And more people are reaching out to me through Messenger than through my email, because I have like 50,000 emails, literally. My email box gives me anxiety, but people can reach me in other different ways through texting and Messenger. So, and Facebook is still up there as the number 3 growth for last year. And then Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter is kind of dwindling, which is interesting to me. And they actually added more characters to be able to type more information this last year as well. But it's interesting that Twitter is kind of starting to fall down a little bit. How often do you guys use Twitter? Not so much. How often do you use Instagram? Every day. Facebook? Every day. Hourly? Yeah. Facebook can be a good thing, and it can also be slightly distracting.
People use these media to get a hold of me in ways that they don't think they otherwise could. So,
Right. Social media is a different way.
that they can't get me by calling the business phone.
Right.
And they may not have my cell phone.
Yeah.
So they'll find me online and say, hey, let's get together, or customers.
Yeah, it's another
they're finding
way.
a way to, like you mentioned, the email box is full. So
Mm-hmm.
how are we going to communicate in
Yeah.
light of this logjam?
Right.
Where
So many disruptions happening and so many emails and email to me. We'll talk about that too, if email is dead or not. It's a little teaser, but I think you're right. Email is just another way, but there's so many other new ways to communicate. And sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, so being able to check all of those different mediums. But I do think that there are other ways to get a hold of people, for sure. Another one too that's not on this one is LinkedIn. I get LinkedIn messages quite often now too, or I'll be tagged in other people's LinkedIn or those types of things. So it's good. It's good. So yeah, and Twitter's kind of was fastest growing a few years ago, but now it's kind of lagging behind. But maybe they'll do something to invigorate it. So according to Forbes, in 2017 alone, there were over 109 million Netflix members spanning to 190 countries, enjoyed more than 140 million hours of TV shows and movies per day. So the shows that we devoured, I'm really surprised that Stranger Things is not up here. How many of you seen Stranger Things? Okay, yeah, it's half and half. But people watched American Vandal, 3%, 13 Reasons Why, Annie with an E, Riverdale, in Governor Newble, I can't even say that. Travelers, The Keepers, The OA, The Confession Tapes. Shows so good, they made us say just one more. So I saw that t-shirt that I run marathons on Netflix. I think I need that one. Sometimes it's a nice way to kind of, ease your brain and not have to necessarily think about the day and the business that you're in or what you're doing. But Netflix has really changed traditional television advertising. Because if you subscribe to Netflix, you see that there's no advertisements on Netflix, right? And same with, Hulu, you can subscribe to the no ads, you can, Amazon Prime, they have ads. And so in kind of thinking about the future and what you can do in the future, because you're not using traditional television as much as far as getting your message out, but you can do product placement. You can do things where your product is actually in the Netflix show. A friend of mine, she runs a company. She's got a specific type of buttery spread that's not made out of butter, and it was highlighted and featured in one of the Netflix shows, and that's how. And she had to pay to do that, right? She had to pay to have them open the refrigerator and have the brand in the refrigerator. To do that. So there's other ways to think about how to get your brand noticed. But this adds up to over 1 billion total hours spent on the streaming service. So Netflix has really taken over a lot of how we used to watch television, right? So anyway, that's kind of thinking about how streaming is going to affect us in 2018. We know that the internet usage is predominantly going to be either video streaming or watching videos on social media or YouTube or Facebook or any of those types of things, where you can see the videos that you were otherwise used to seeing on television in 30-second commercials. And the difference now is that we have a two-way communication stream, where we can talk to the people who are putting the information out there. Whereas on traditional television and on the broadcast, networks, you would see it, but then have no way to communicate back with the people who show it and share it and are putting it out there in the world. So another look back, there are 1.37 billion daily active users on Facebook. So it's still the most widely social platform, meaning that marketers invested heavily in Facebook this last year. I am aware of some companies who are spending a lot of money on television and radio, and they shifted their entire ad budget to Facebook, the entire thing. And it was a big monumental moment for them, because they had always used to doing TV and radio and newspaper and magazines, and then they shift to Facebook, and suddenly, what do you think happens when they target their marketing on Facebook to specific people that they want to attract, and they want to interrupt their day with Facebook, right? And now more and more people are utilizing Messenger ads, because we know that Facebook Messenger is becoming more and more of an attractive tool. And so how many of you have seen sponsored messages on your Facebook Messenger app? Yeah.
A funny thing happened the last 4 or 5 months where I've been getting a sponsored ad, every single time I'm doing anything on Facebook. It interrupts my day, and it talks to me about these specialized bolts that put metal buildings together. And I wonder, how did I become a demographic? And
Wow.
who's not managing that ad campaign?
Right.
For 6 months, I've
Yeah.
been getting this
Similar
metal
ad.
bolt, won't rust, won't come out, your metal building will last forever.
Well, when's the last time you built a metal building, Dan?
Never, but
I know, yeah.
For 6 whole months, somebody's
Right?
spending money
You
on
are
it.
right. They are. So yeah, you're right. They need to talk to us. We'll have to focus their ad a little bit more. Yeah.
I just have a question for you. As far as WhatsApp goes, I've used it for personal things, but I've never seen it for business How is that used in business marketing?
And that's a really good question. I kind of myself am trying to understand how you can use WhatsApp, because it's kind of like a texting message or a messaging platform. Yep, or a video call. And as far as I know, and I may have to look into this a little bit more, but as far as I know, they don't do sponsored, promoted, anything. But the way businesses can use it, though, is being able to, kind of like a Google Hangout or Skype or any of those things, you can communicate with people across the globe through WhatsApp. So, for example, when I was in South Korea, I used the WhatsApp app to communicate with the group of people that I was with, because cell phone and internet, I mean, it was just really tricky to try to actually call them when you were in a foreign country. And in Mexico, same thing, if we want to communicate, you use the WhatsApp app. Yeah, yeah. So from a business perspective, yeah, communication with people, that's how I see it being of value, because it's free. So yeah, it's really quite interesting.
Said to be hard to trace. I know when I had someone that was deployed and it was all top secret.
They use the WhatsApp?
They use WhatsApp because nobody can.
It's not backed up
Yeah.
to a server.
Right, that's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you delete your messages, they're gone.
Yep, they're gone. They're gone. So yeah, I mean, there's some different functionalities of how we're going to use it, and I'll be curious to see moving forward what they do to monetize it more. So it's interesting to me that they really haven't done a whole lot of monetizing. Although when you log in, there's other ways that they can probably capture your information to send you ads or do things like that. But anyway, so yeah, Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, Snapchat, which is interesting to me that Snapchat is right above Instagram in this case. And what's happening there. How much people are using it, several times a day or not. But again, just like when we did the simultaneous conversations, you have to try to understand and listen and be able to communicate and everything that's going on, understand what's happening when you are marketing on these platforms and how you're trying to interrupt and reach them and use engaging messaging and imagery and everything that you're using.
So I find it interesting how the world has decided what is acceptable on one network, but not on the other.
Right.
So for example, no one ever sent me a LinkedIn bulletin for this is what you're supposed to say or not say or do or not do.
Yeah.
There's this organic, homeowners association that comes out and gives you a notice about, wow, that's not appropriate. This is not Facebook.
Yes.
And it's just, what is that?
Or Instagram, or how you speak
Right,
on Instagram.
exactly.
Yeah.
So what is that? What do you,
Yeah.
It's just this organic
and
thing.
you're
I
right.
don't even think the landlords even thought of that. Right?
You're going to be penalized if you don't use it
But
appropriately.
This unspoken, this
Yeah.
is how we talk, this is how we communicate,
Yeah.
this is how we post. That
I say
people don't know.
LinkedIn is, you business professional, Monday through Thursday, and Facebook is casual Friday. I mean, it's like you can, be professional on LinkedIn and, talk about businesses and share articles. And then there's Instagram, right? Which is Insta, happening in the moment. It's kind of all over the place now, but yeah.
The Kool-Aid man comes busting through all those barriers.
That's right. Yes, the Kool-Aid man. He's going to disrupt everything. So looking back, some more things that have really happened this last year, the Me Too movement. And how things now are going to be affected in advertising with everything that's going on with the Me Too movement and with being able to have kind of all of these sexual misconduct allegations out there in the world, and all of the things that are happening in the workplace and in what's happening in in social spaces, and listening to Oprah. I mean, she had a wonderful message to say all the things that she did, but moving into 2018, what does that look like for the advertisements that you used to see in where sex sells, right? And now, how is that going to change and affect what we do and how we do it and what we say and who we serve and what we serve when we serve those messages? So that'll definitely be something to pay attention to, and people will definitely want to think about the verbiage that they speak and what they post, because like in that video, what happens in Vegas stays on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, right? And so thinking about the strategy that you're using and the verbiage and how you present yourself and your company and the messaging that you have out there. I do think that this is going to be something that will change how advertisers and marketers have traditionally done things in the past to how we can now think about what's going to happen in the future, which I'm excited about. I really am. So, in this little joke, if all else fails, I'm not above using my sex appeal to help me close a sale. I think that's going to change, and I hope it will. Anyway, so some things to think about in the future. The persuasive messaging that we're using and what will look like and what that will change for the future.
Ray?
Yes, sir.
May I?
Yes, you may.
So on that theme, given that that's difficult territory.
Absolutely,
and
it is hard to
unknown
navigate.
territory that we're moving in today, to what extent do you think it will follow the themes of new popular television shows? If we look back not too many years ago, a show 2.5 Men with Charlie Sheen
Oh, sure.
was a hugely popular show. Would that show make the cut as a new show today? I'm thinking maybe not.
I think it would be
Because of the
an
issues
adaptive. It would be adapted. I think.
About sexuality.
Yep.
So, to what extent will people be expecting advertising and marketing themes to be somewhat consistent with what seems to be accepted
Right.
on network television shows, sitcoms, dramas, otherwise?
I think that we are absolutely going through a cultural shift of what's happening. And the Me Too movement really helped get us into that position to shift the way people will think about what kind of material and the sensitivity of what needs to be out there, and how if they think if it's crossing the line, it probably is. And I think people will think twice now before they just go cross the line without any repercussion or thinking through what could happen. And I do think that we're going to adapt, and our cultural norms will adapt. I think it's exciting to see what's going to happen and how that's going to adapt and change. But I also think that from an educational standpoint and from a marketing perspective, there's some opportunities to kind of be able to help make that adaptation happen. I think that there's not going to be any one answer of how, like you said, there's not going to be like a homeowners association saying, you have to do this, and if you don't do this, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Yeah.
I think it's interesting how you were saying about how sex sells, and I kind of disagree and agree on to an extent, because sex sells in a different way now. We see a lot of lesbian stuff, a lot of gay stuff in every TV show you watch, so you're still seeing it sell in a different way, and that's
completely different way.
Yeah, people because we're going through things like that. So I think it's not really that it's just completely cut off. It's just like you'll start to notice different aspects of it shift that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Thanks for sharing. Absolutely, and I think it's good to point that out. So some of the most watched YouTube ads, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up from last year is so that can maybe give some inspiration of ideas of what we can do this next year, and why that this was such the #1 branded message that was shared. So I'm going to share this with you, and you'll probably begin to understand why it was so important. To watch that video, click on the link located in our show notes. Why do we think that that's the #1 branded YouTube video of 2017? Oh my gosh. Yes.
It makes you feel something.
Absolutely.
Multiple things. There was the wonder of the country, the struggle, the persistence, the compassion, the community. It was all the feels.
Yes, all the feels, right? Hashtag all the feels. I love it. It was amazing, right? And so thinking about branded content on YouTube and thinking about things that go viral and why they go viral and why people want to see messages like these. I looked in the room, every one of you were intently watching this. And sometimes, we're doing these and people are on their phones and doing other things. Every one of us were watching and we get goosebumps because of the story. And I've watched this 100 times and I still every time, right? It's just amazing, And so anyway, I wanted to share that because I think that, and Alex helped me find the #1 YouTube video, and when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Well produced, there's a story to be told, and what a phenomenal story. And it reveals just great, how great Samsung, and I didn't even know that Samsung, did TV delivery services or fixing services in India. So anyway, just really great content and thinking about how you want to use branded content in 2018. So there's some other videos, and we'll get to watch those later, but just thinking about the brands and how come they become the #1 videos. When you Google search top branded videos and why. So those are some things you can watch too. Something else that's really starting to become more and more popular that people are doing is videos of people watching people play video games. It's like taking off incredibly crazy. My kids will watch some of these people, and all they're doing is just watching them play video games. That's it. But think about all the branded content and how they're getting paid and all the Facebook or YouTube ads that they're getting paid for. Anyway, so Business Insider says that more than 50% of the world's top YouTubers produce Let's Play It style YouTube gaming videos. Over 50% of these people are doing YouTube gaming videos. So anyway, something else to think about. Yep, it's just watching them play. My kids usually do like Minecraft or, I don't know, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so we took a look back, and now we're going to take a look forward. So looking ahead at 2018, so some things to think about. There's a strong increase in ethnic diversity. So marketers take note that more and more YouTube is seeking out ethnically diverse YouTube users, watching more videos compared to a year ago. So the majority of ethnically diverse YouTube viewers use the platform at least once a day. And so we've got 41% of monthly YouTube users in the US are ethnically diverse Hispanics, comprising of the largest population. So we're actually partnering with the Idaho Hispanic Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and producing both in English and Spanish. And it's pretty relevant here in our area, especially Canyon County. And so we think that being ethnically diverse is a really great way for branding and marketing to go and to be able to accomplish. So that's one thing to think about. Another thing is, so in 2017 we saw a rise in video content versus photos. So people paying attention to videos and skim and multitask or versus written content and podcasts. Videos, people are consuming videos a lot more than they are the written content. And then podcasts too, audio is up there, but 4 times as many consumers would prefer to watch a video about a product than to read about it. And many businesses are beginning to repurpose blog posts into videos to keep up with the times. So thinking about if you're going to write a blog post, how can you turn that into a video? What's going to make it interesting? And knowing that people are more likely to watch your video than they will all of that text that you write. However, the text is good for search engine optimization, but now there's video search engine optimization. And utilizing the video alt tags and metadata and all the stuff that you can put on the back end of a video can actually help with your website and YouTube channel and all those types of things to drive traffic to your website. So videos are really, really becoming more and more important, and well-produced videos. Yes, we can all go and put live video on Facebook, and yes, we can use our cell phones to do a lot of it. And there's a time and place for that, absolutely. Something like the Samsung video, or something like a cause video, or something where you want it to be produced to tell a message, where you can edit and make sure that it's the message you want to be portrayed, is more and more common. And lucky for us, that's what we do. So we get to do that, and Brian gets to do that in helping companies grow their business through different mediums of video. So whether it's a YouTube video, we do it differently than if it's a Facebook video, than if it's a 59-second Instagram video versus everything else. And another big trend is audio agnostic, meaning can you watch this video without audio? So that video that Samsung did, you could have watched that without the music. You could have watched that without the audio, but they had the subtitles. So we're doing a lot more subtitles, and we're doing a lot more text in video where you can see the big words through a small device. So more and more videos are being produced with being audio agnostic. So that way, if people don't turn up their audio, or if they're sitting there, watching it when they're not really supposed to be, or if they are just not wanting to turn up the audio, maybe they're laying in bed and they're watching, and they don't want to, bug their spouse in turning the audio up. I Wouldn't know anything about that. But audio agnostic videos more and more. So that's just my own prediction. In another look ahead, in the future, people will want more video content. And so looking at the types of content that they want to see more of in the future, video, news articles, social media posts, social photos, research reports, all of those types of things that people want in general. 53% want more video. So there you go. And something else in Instagram. Instagram is slowly becoming a pay-to-play, kind of like Facebook. If you have your business page on Facebook and you want people to see your message, what do you have to do? You boost the post or you promote it if you want more people to see it. And more people are not necessarily seeing the business posts because Facebook wants you to pay. Instagram, similarly, pay to play. And what that means is you can put links on the ads that you're creating on Instagram. And if you have 10,000 followers or more, you can actually start putting links in your posts, only if you have 10,000 users. So until you get 10,000 users, can you put links in? No, you still have to put them in the profile to drive people to see what you want them to see as a link, a clickable link. But the hashtags, again, are a good way to use branded content and drive people to seeing what you have to see if you use hashtags. And it's a good way to help grow your followers because people who are interested in what types of hashtags that you use will then maybe follow you. So I recently just joined, because I did everything under Peppershock, but then I created my own as the marketing boss babe. So everything that I hashtag is usually, boss babe or marketing or just different things that are related to what I do. And people all across the globe are following me based on those hashtags that I'm using, which is kind of fun. Looking ahead to, the death of email. I think that email has a time and a place, and yes, there are, great email campaigns, but we're lucky to get open rates that are anything above 20%, if that, and if it's something that people actually want or subscribe to. Email is more and more becoming a huge distraction that's hard to overcome. Because, Dan, how many emails do you have in your inbox? Let's see if I have more than you. It's awful. It gives me anxiety. Email, people will say to me, well, didn't you see my email? No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm going to, be shunned by the homeowners association. They're going to come down on me and, email. So, email. And the same thing is because you get subscribed to things and you get notifications and you get so many things and you're trying to, I swear I try to categorize and, look at the things that are important and I miss things and, it's just, email is such an anxiety, right? I don't know, do you like email? No. So what does that do as a marketer? And maybe it's just me, but I feel like email, we may have to have another way to think about what we're trying to do with our messaging and find other ways to get to people and disrupt them. Because busy business people who we want to connect with likely have 60,000 emails in their inbox, and it's no joke. I've been in business now for almost 15 years, and that same email address has been around for all that time. And even though I am subscribed to everything, I don't know how people got my email, but I get random emails from wherever, and it's crazy to try to keep up with it. So I always tell people, if you really want to get a hold of me, text me, or Facebook message me, or Instagram message me, or anything else, but don't do email, because it'll probably take me 3 days to get back to you. It's just the truth of the nature, and I'm not the only one. Yeah.
We started an email newsletter, and it's interesting that we find, we get not as many opens,
Right.
but then using MailChimp, we post the link on our Facebook and our Instagram. Way more people will look at the newsletter on there than they will in their own email.
And it's so true.
Because they can just click to the web version.
Yep, and we drive traffic to our website too. The thing is, the content that you're doing is fresh, and that's the content that can go on your website to keep the content fresh. And that has a point, and there are some people who want the emails, the email newsletters. There's some people who still want the paper kind. But I almost think that it's sort of come full circle now that if I get a piece of mail in my, my snail mail, I'm like, oh, look, I got mail. Because people, it's a different ballgame to work with. We're kind of running out of time. There's a short little video about it, but email is something to think about. Maybe you can kind of reconsider about it. But the fall of email marketing in business, high volume of traffic creates too much clutter. My inbox is intimidating, to say the least. Alternative methods for communicating are becoming more and more popular to reach people. And we kind of talked about that earlier, in reaching people. And then, using, instead of email addresses, communicating with people in many different ways. So WhatsApp or Facebook or any of those types of things. And more, the younger demographic is less and less email and more messaging. And it's really quite interesting to see that the younger demographic really doesn't use email as much anymore. So keep that in mind for your target audience. If your target audience is younger demographic, don't send them an email. You won't reach them. Anyway, so looking ahead is thinking about normal reality. When normal reality is enough, there's always artificial reality or augmented reality. And thinking about how you can integrate that into your company and your business. And I think there's some examples. So this is an example that Bud Light did. You can put on the goggles and see the guy that's kind of, he's kind of around giving you beer everywhere you want to go. It's an example of what they can do in the 3D world. And this was kind of a Snapchat project, but it was an animated beer salesman. Not to say that you have to do that in your company, but thinking about ways to use branded content through 3D or 360 videos, or what you can do that way. And looking ahead, rapid fire bonus predictions. Boosting posts is necessary to be seen even more than already. We talked about 2% of the things that Facebook are feeding is not necessarily your business page. And so if you want people to see your business page, you have to boost it, you have to post it, you have to pay for it, you have to pay to play. The return of snail mail, I think so, but some things that the United States Postal Service is doing with direct mail is you can actually see your snail mail in your mailbox in your inbox. So what I mean by that is if you want to see what mail you're getting, so say you're on vacation, say, you want to see if that check really is in the mail, that people say, check's in the mail. Oh, well, I'm going to check on that. They scan your email, you scan your mail, and then you can actually see it in a PDF, and then there's clickable links. If you have a direct mail piece that has a clickable link as a PDF, then you can now hit people in their mailbox, their inbox, and on a website. So direct mail has its place. Anyway. And then chatbots, AI is king. So artificial intelligence, Siri, Alexa, Hey Google, all of those things. We have a Hey Google in the house, and now my kids have figured out how to play music in the same song over and over and over again. But hey, we're working through that. Geofencing is becoming more commonplace. So geofencing is being able to drop an ad within a specific region or a specific place, or drop a pixel. If say you are attending a concert at the Ford Idaho Center, and a marketer wants to promote to you because you've been to that concert, they can drop a pixel and information to say, oh, and then when you're on your mobile device, you're going to see an ad that they've served to you within that specific geographic region. Pretty cool. Pretty creepy, but cool. Micro-influencers are going to be used to combat ad blockers. So again, kind of product placement, and people who are of influence can, promote your brand, promote who you are. So those influencers are the people that you want to make sure that you reward them for influencing the people that will come to you and purchase from you. And growth hacking as a business model. Growth hacking, it could be a whole other topic we could talk about, but short and brief is that when you're using growth hacking, it's kind of a lean model, and you do different iterations to see which iteration is going to work. Okay, this iteration worked, now I'm going to do different iterations of that. That worked, until you get to a really great model of what's working in Facebook or any kind of platform that you're using. So A/B testing, and then A/B testing of what's working, and continuing to get better and better and honing in on what's working and eliminating and omitting what's not, so that you're not wasting your money. Okay? That's just a really brief, down and dirty growth hacking, but that's something else to think about. So without any more, thank you so much, and we will adjourn almost on time. Thank you.